Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I see a lot of you popping into the chat already, and I'm so excited to be here. For those of you who do not know, I am Carissa Wiley from Sprinkled with Glitter, and I am here to craft along with you. We're using fabulous products from Pink Fresh Studio, of course. We're going to have a great time, and I have so much to share with you today. The first thing that I want to do before we get to crafting is tell you about a few things that are happening here at Pink Fresh Studio you don't want to miss. Number one, did you see it? Cards for Him registration. This is a Create and Connect event from Pink Fresh Studio is now open for registration. You don't want to miss your opportunity. We have some great instructors. I will be teaching one of the classes at this event, and it's going to be so much fun. The whole thing is about demystifying those masculine card projects for all of you. It's a whole event on Cards for Him. So you're going to want to join us for that. The other thing I wanted to let you know about is that today, during today's live, we will be giving away two $50 Pink Fresh Studio gift cards. And all you have to do to enter to win that is chat along, just like you're doing in the comments now. You can share this live stream over on a Facebook group if it's allowed, or in a text message and an email. Come back and let us know that you shared it. That is another entry into the giveaway during the live. And then this is not an entry, but we love it if you would go ahead and hit the subscribe button here on the Pink Fresh Studio YouTube channel. Give this video a thumbs up, and then don't forget to turn on the notifications as well so that you don't miss any of the live streams and the card making paper crafting video tutorials shared here. Whoa, that's a lot. Couple more things I want to tell you about. The next thing is that we will also be giving away two $50 gift certificates if you're watching the replay. So go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section and let us know if you're registering for that Cards for Him event, because we're so excited about this. You guys are going crazy in the chat over there. Carmen, there will be sneak peeks, but those are going to come in a little bit. So we're still working behind the scenes on this event. So registration just opened. There will be sneak peeks eventually. Another thing I wanted to let you know about: gems and pearls and embellishments. All your favorite Pink Fresh Studio embellies are 25% off. So go ahead and shop those. Prices is marked. You don't need a code. And those are available over on the Pink Fresh Studio website now. And then finally, if you spend $50 or more, free sequins. And that's all that information's over on Pink Fresh Studio's page. Oh my goodness, that is so much stuff. Deborah's already registered for Cards for Him early this morning, and she's super excited. I'm so happy for you. Let's get to crafting, shall we? Is my room different? No, it's not. I have the lights on this week, and I forgot to turn them on last week, but this is my room. So let's get down to the desktop, because we do want to create a fabulous card today. And today I am featuring the Fresh Florals product suite. This is from the February release. I'm going to be mixing in some products from January's release as well. So we're going to be kind of mixing and matching a few releases together. And look at these spring colors. So beautiful. But the thing I love about this Fresh Florals is it is a stencil die combo, and we've used these a few times here when I am live on the Pink Fresh Studio channel, and I just thought I hadn't had a chance to really play with this one yet, and so I thought this would be a great way to kind of introduce you guys to it. I'm also going to be bringing in a sentiment from Grateful Greenery, as well as the blanket stitched elongated ovals. And I think we're also going to use the stitched chain cover plate. So this is a card front die. You can use it on a card front because there's no outer edge. But let's get started, shall we? How are you all doing on this fine Tuesday morning? Do you want to see me up here in the corner? I can come up here in the corner. I am doing really well. It's a little chillier here today than it has been over the last few days, and I'm feeling it. So I had to kick on the heat a little bit in the craft room to get me warmed up. Alana is here from South Africa. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And Kathy played with this set last week. So much fun. Iceland. Elon's here from Iceland. Hello. Okay, so we're going to start off by doing some stenciling. And this is a 5-piece stencil set here to create our florals. And this is one of those where you're going to do the stenciling and then you're going to line the die up over the stenciling. So it has these little triangle markers that you're going to make sure that you ink blend so that you know where to line up your die. And we'll go over that as we go throughout here. So I'm going to start, and I like to use something like a Misty stamping tool. You could use your stamp wheel for this as well, but I love to just use a little bit larger piece of paper than what I need. And I like to just put my paper and my stencil into the corner, and I can make sure that I line this up every time. Now, a couple things I do want to point out. The stencils are numbered, so they have your number etched in at the upper left-hand corner. There are also A2 registration marks. So if you want to line this up with a panel of A2 cardstock, you can just line it up with the little registration marks in the corner and use those instead. But I like to do it this way because I feel like it's just a little quicker and easier. Now, if you want to hold it down with some tape, you can. And I'm going to open my drawer beside me here so that I can reach my ink blending brushes. And we're going to create a couple of different colors. Now, I shared a video on the Pink Fresh Studio YouTube channel this past week where I showed you that you can use your other stencils kind of as masks for areas of the stencil. And I kind of want to do these flowers in different colors. So I'm going to do this large, kind of more pointy one up at the upper left. I'm going to do that in some Peach Fuzz and Sun Kissed. I'm mixing some colors together, and I just have my other stencil laid across that other flower to keep it protected from this orange ink. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that when you're stenciling this, you want to make sure that you're going to stencil over or blend over those areas where the triangle is. So you don't want to miss that. So I will make sure that I do that before I remove my stencils and I move on to the next area. So I'm starting with a light layer of Peach Fuzz kind of over the entire floral. And then I'm going to take Sun Kissed, and we'll just use the large 1-inch blending brush on this as well. And I think I'll just come in on the corner here and just kind of add a little bit of intensity. That got real hot real fast up there, but we're okay with that. So this is just kind of bump up the vibrancy. Remember that old song, Pump Up the Jam? It's kind of like that. We're pumping up the jam on our flowers. Okay, let me grab a cloth here, and I'm going to wipe my stencil because I'm going to move on to that next flower. And I'm just going to mask off this flower with my stencil, kind of hold everything in place. And for this one, I'm going to use some cherry blossom, maybe some bubble gum, maybe some candy violet. We're going to kind of just mix some colors together. But I'm starting off with my lightest color and blending over the entire thing. Now, you'll notice that the ink colors I'm using are from different color families, and that's totally okay. You can mix different color families. If you don't have all 4 from a single family, it's okay to mix ones from different color families. Yes, the 1-inch blending brushes are back in stock, so if that's something that you've been waiting for, be sure to grab them. I grabbed another 3-pack the other day just because I was like, do I have enough? I probably do, but I thought, I should probably just grab some just in case, you know. I am going to take bubble gum now, and I'm just kind of coming in, and again, we're bumping up the intensity in light amounts. I don't want to like overwhelm this flower, but I love the variation of the colors. I'm going to turn down my screen brightness just a little bit so that I can kind of get an idea of what you are all seeing. let's see. Jamie, I don't know how many blending brushes you have. You say you think you need a few more, but I agree. You probably do. Okay, so I'm gonna grab, that is bubblegum and cherry blossom mixed together. Now I'm gonna grab just a 1/2 inch blending brush here, and I'm gonna go over these guides just to make sure that I have them, you know, ready to go. All right. Now we can wipe over the stencil and we can remove stencil number 1. Now I'm kind of one of those people who likes to use, you know, the stencils in order for the most part. And so we're going to come in now, and if you're looking at these flowers and you're saying they don't look like much, just wait until we use the dye, because the dye is going to add some detail to that as well. Now, I kind of looked ahead at this and I found that these two flowers kind of layer up really nicely together, and these two flowers layer up nicely together. And then this flower and this flower, you can layer these any way that you want, but they can be standalones or you can use them in a different way. So again, we're going to use a stencil to kind of mask off various areas, and we're going to stencil these in different colors. So for this kind of starry shape here, I think I am going to use Candy Violet. So is that the color that I want to use? Yeah, I think so. I think so. We might bring in a little bit of bubblegum to this as well, just to bring in some variation. So I'm going to blend over that with with Candy Violet, and then let's take just whatever's left on my brush and bring in just a little bit of that bubblegum around the edges. If you want to intensify it, you can redip, go back to the ink pad. But these colors are kind of close to each other on the color wheel, so they're going to blend nicely together. Kelly, hello. Thanks for making my lunch hour special. That's very sweet. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so now we've done that. And we are going to move to some Sun-Kissed and Peach Fuzz for this one here, because that one goes along with it. Now, we're working with a couple areas that need to be masked. So the stencil thing, we can either bring in a couple of stencils to do this, or we can be, you know what? Let's not do it. Let's just use a smaller blending brush. Make our life easy, right? Okay. So I'm going to come in, this one's kind of, this brush looks like it's got a lot of ink on it. So I'm just going to wipe it off. Candy Violet is really beautiful. And Terry says you can never have enough blending brushes, right? I agree. Okay, so we're going to come in, Peach Fuzz. This is going to be a real light color, and I'm using the 1/2 inch because then I just don't have to worry about running into that area above it. So that is Peach Fuzz. And even if a little of this Sun-Kissed kind of creeps up over there, I don't think we're going to have a major problem with the colors, because that Candy Violet is much darker. And we'll just get some variation. In fact, maybe I'll just do it on purpose to show you it's okay. Okay, so just kind of pumping that up. And if you want to shift the color a little bit, just a little bit, what you can do is take your pink brush and just kind of go over the top of this, and it will shift it a little more pink. Okay, this one we are going to use the pink. So we're going to go into Cherry Blossom again here. Cherry Blossom is such a beautiful, beautiful color. Then we're going to go into Bubblegum. Keep in mind, you could do these stencils all in one color. You don't have to do all the different colors like I'm doing. But I will tell you, you can also die cut the die from just some colored cardstock as well. And it's really a beautiful look. Okay. And then this one down here, let's do let's do a light frosting of bubble gum. So it's a little like a cooler pink. I usually lean towards the warmer pinks. Sandy's here from Ukiah, California. Hello, California girl. I'm a California girl too. Okay, so we're gonna go over that entire thing with a light frosting of bubble gum. And then we will bring in some candy violet. So we're kind of doing the opposite of what we did on this bloom up here. Just a little candy violet here. Now we've already gone over those triangles, so I don't feel the need to go over them again. But if you wanted to, you can. I mean, they're already there, so we're going to be able to see them. Roxanne says, love all the tips and suggestions you share. Well, thank you, Roxanne. I try to be helpful. I hope that these are worth your while, and my honest hope is that you leave feeling inspired, whatever that is. So these are such bright and fun colors. I'm so ready for spring. It's felt like spring here. Oh, I love this. I love this. You know, I just pulled these colors together on a screen. I didn't try them out ahead of time. And so I was hoping it would all work out, and it did. It did. So this is stencil number 3, and we're moving into the floral centers. And for all of this, I'm going to use marigold. So it's the darkest of the yellow, the OG yellow family. And if we want to shift a couple of them a little more orange, we can bring in some Sunkissed for that. More fun with a variety of colors. Well, you know, it's always fun to bring in extra colors. But for those of you who maybe don't want to, you could, I mean, like if you just, this is not your thing, there's other ways to use this product suite, and I just wanted to point that out. You can always die cut these from colors of cardstock that are similar to your ink colors that you want to use. And then you can add a little ink blending on the edges once they've already been die cut too. Karen says she's watching from work and she wishes she was crafting along with me. Well, I wish you could craft along with me too, but maybe you'll feel inspired when you go home to create a little something, something, you know? So now I'm bringing in a little Sunkissed to a few of these. These centers are all the same. So I'm just gonna pick like 3 of them, add some Sunkissed so we have some variation in the centers, and then we can wipe up our stencil and we'll move on. And then we'll be moving into greenery. Lori says, of course it would work. If we can make blue leaves, we can do any mix of colored flowers. I agree. Okay, so stencil number 4, we have a couple greenery pieces down here. And so what I think we'll do, since we're done with these, let's put a few of these away so that I'm not so crowded. But we're gonna move into some greens. I love greens. Let's go with, wait until you see these greens, you guys. I have olive, evergreen, and lush forest. Oh, so pretty. So I'm gonna do olive on these down here, but I'm gonna go real light and just bring it in and hope for the best. The other thing that you can remember is, depending on how intense you use your inks, you can kind of vary your ink by using the same color, but using a lighter hand, a bigger brush, more ink, less ink. So this may not give me the same effect as if I were to go in hot and heavy with some olive. You know, I'm making sure I kind of blend it off on the side. I'm not putting the same amount of ink over the entire stencil. You can see it's a little darker in one area. We'll go a little darker here. Okay. So that's greenery layer number 1, or stencil number 4. And then we'll go to stencil number 5. I love that olive is like just such a pretty true green, but you can really intensify it. Lori gets to work from home on Tuesdays. That's so nice. Okay, so for this one, I think I'm going to go over with olive, but then we're going to bring in some additional colors. So we're just going to like do it quick and dirty with the olive. And then we'll bring in some lush forest and some evergreen to these leaves, and we'll intensify various areas. Lush forest is one of my favorite greens, and man, it'll pack a punch. Okay, go in a little more intense at the base of the leaves. Okay. Carissa, what is your process of thought when choosing colors? Well, I mean, some of it is dictated by what images I'm going to use, right? So if I'm using a floral image, I'm probably going to have, I just bent my stencil, so don't do what I just did. I'm probably going to have some sort of greenery, you know, and do I want to use like a turquoise green? Do I want to use a true green? I felt like I was going really springy with this particular card project. So I wanted to bring in some true greens, but I didn't need to take that away yet. But I also wanted to bring in some variation. So Peach Fuzz is one of my favorites, but it's a little on the light side. I love Sunkissed, but sometimes Sunkissed feels a little intense for me. So I decided to mix the two together and kind of create a little bit different look, create a variation. Pinks, we have almost the only thing that we don't have in the kind of rainbow here or the color wheel is blues, really. We have purple, so it's like we're moving from the purple side of the rainbow into red, pink, orange, yellow, green. So this is almost a rainbow color palette, just used in a different way. So I don't know if that helped or not, but you know, when you use colors, you definitely get to know them a little bit more too. And you have your favorites. And sometimes I will make a concerted effort to not always use my favorites. But I will also, if I'm doing something I'm really uncomfortable with color-wise, I will try to work in a color I am comfortable with so something feels familiar and I'm not trying to build an entire palette out of something that feels very unfamiliar. So for instance, a purple is not always a go-to for me, but by bringing in some of the pinks with the purples, it makes it feel more familiar. It makes it feel a little more safe to me. And so I feel a little more comfortable using colors that are not necessarily in my normal palette when I bring in something that is in my normal palette. Does that make sense, Francis? Because I hope that that kind of helps. Thank you. I recently started following you and think the color palette you use in your cards are beautiful. Thank you so much. It helps when, I will say that like Pink Fresh Studio, they have done a job. They have purposely curated inks that are designed to work together, right? Their palette works together. And so I think that when you're creating and you use a palette from a particular company, then when you stay within those companies' colors tend to work well together. So that's another way to build a palette is just kind of stick, you know, all to Pink Fresh or whatever you might be using at that time. But of course, we are partial to Pink Fresh inks around here. And I do encourage you, swatching is a great way to kind of get to know your colors. And I know not all of you are into swatching, but looking at an ink label and stamping it out or blending it out gives you completely different results. And the more that you kind of swatch and take some time getting to know your colors, the more successful you'll be pairing colors together as well. So I do recommend swatching, even if you have to pay someone to do it like I do every now and then. I have had my daughter swatch for me before because it just sometimes it's overwhelming to get it all done, but that does help me kind of get to know the colors a little bit better. So, oh, look at these. Aren't these beautiful? Oh my goodness. Okay, I love these. Isha wants to know who's behind the Pink Fresh Studio name today. I think it's Kathleen, but correct me if I'm wrong. I do need to make an adjustment real quick on my phone over here, so just forgive me for a second because that heat is feeling like super intense now. I am right. It's Kathleen behind the name today, behind the badge for us. Let's just turn that heat off. We are plenty warm now. Okay, so these are nice and plain looking, right? But wait until you see them with the die, because the die has all these detail lines that it's going to add. So let me show you how you use the stencil die combos, because they're a little different than having a stamped line, right? Now, all of these are designed to have a little bit of bleed so that if you don't get your die like perfectly in position, you'll still be okay. And I'll show you that after we're done. But I'm going to start by lining up my die using those little triangles that we blended here. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3 triangles, and on my die, I have 1, 2, 3 triangles. Do you see those? It's more apparent in real life, but 1, 2, 3 triangles. So I'm going to make sure that those 3 triangles line up with my 3 ink blended triangles. I want to make sure that the entire area of that triangle in the die opening is filled with color. And then you can also use these little flower centers as, you know, kind of a guide as well. Someone said, don't forget to hit a thumbs up. Yes, we really appreciate that. And then I'm going to hold the die in place once I have it lined up with some removable tape or low tack tape. And then I'll run that through my die cut machine. So I'm just going to cut directly into the cutting plate today. And we'll run this through. Lisa says, I love to stencil, but I have to admit that I have never done the die cutting element of the project before. Oh, well, I love that you love to stencil, and I would love to see that. Okay, so we're going to carefully flip this over, and we have a little container that we can put some of this stuff in. I've die cut some of the I've die cut all of the elements from this Fresh Florals set from Vellum ahead of time because I thought I might want some additional Vellum layers in my project as well. So I'm just going to put all of these into the area where I have all of my Vellum. And this is holding on for dear life. Okay. Oh, these are so pretty. I love the variation in the green. And you can see as I start to remove these, do you see how there's some ink bleeding out of the die cut area? That is intentionally designed to help you, if you don't get your die like in perfect position, to get everything, you know, kind of cut properly. I didn't get this vine cut well. I wonder if I need new plates or if I should have used my shim. Okay, so I'm going to show you because this is real crafting. This is what happens to us sometimes. Sometimes we don't get like perfect images. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix this. So I'm going to get everything out that did cut properly. And these at the bottom, I must just need new plates. And if you aren't getting great die cut results, then what I would say is plates are always a big thing, or pressure. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of feel from the back where it kind of sinks into the die lines that were previously created by the ones that did cut well. So I'm just kind of nestling that into place and you can kind of feel it lock in. Do you see how I'm kind of pushing it around? It's not going anywhere. That's because it's kind of nestled into the die lines that were previously created. I'm going to run this back through my die cut machine. But this time I got it off a little bit there. Oops, we'll fix it. This time I'm gonna add my metal shim because I feel like maybe this just needed a metal shim and maybe I should have started with that. Depending on the intricacy of your dies, you may need a shim. So we'll just run this through again. Yes, the details that the dies give these inked elements are so beautiful. So that flower did not have those lines in it before we die cut it. But now that we've die cut it, we have all these detail lines. Adds so much. It's so beautiful. And when you die cut it from just colored cardstock, it works as well. So it gives you those beautiful lines, and then you could add some ink blending. Look at that. We just needed more pressure. More pressure is what we needed. See, these are just falling out now. I have it tangled in the area, but it is perfectly cut. So we saved that. So, you know, this is real life crafting. This happens sometimes where everything doesn't go perfect, but there's always a fix. Okay. All right. I'm loving the colors too. So now we're going to grab some liquid glue. We're going to start stacking up these florals. We're going to create some layered images. Now you could use these on their own. Like you could use each individual flower as its own little thing, like this layer, and just put a center in it. But I want to create some dimension. Oh my gosh, little dude, come on. I want to create some dimension by kind of layering them up. So we're going to grab my reverse grip tweezers, and I am going to add some liquid glue in the center of this, and we will grab, let's grab our dual tip embellishment tool, the little sticky end, and we're just going to kind of offset this just slightly. So do you see how I'm offsetting the petals? Like they're not, this part, the center of this petal is not in line with the center of this petal. Just to give it a little offset, it'll make the layering feel a little fuller. We're going to do the same thing with the pink flower. So we'll do offset just a bit. That could almost be like a little clover for St. Patrick's Day. And then these two, you could layer up. They kind of don't go together. I'm going to use them as individuals. So then we're going to grab our little flower centers out of here. I probably shouldn't have mixed these up, but we did. Okay, and I'm going to grab and just add a little bit of liquid glue. You could add each of these layers with some foam adhesive instead to add a little more dimension. You know, I'm never opposed to a little bit of dimension on my card making. Brings them to life. And part of me kind of wishes I did that. Maybe maybe we'll do a little surgery here before they dry. Mind changed. Just pull them apart while it's still wet. The window is still open. Okay. The other thing that you can do to kind of bring these to life is kind of give these a little life, is just give the petals a little bend at the end with your finger. Sue says, question, could you cut the flower making foam and get the same results? Flower making foam. I don't know what flower making foam is. So maybe someone else can help out or help me understand a little bit better. Lisa says it's already warm in Tucson and she already wants to make springtime cards. It was 75 degrees here yesterday. It was gorgeous. The mountains were so beautiful and I was hoping it would be like that again today. It's a little overcast and chilly today. Marta's here. Thanks, Marta, for coming. Lori, women are allowed to change their minds. I feel like we do it more than men, but everybody's allowed to change their mind every now and then. But I agree. We just have a way of doing things where we're like, I don't like that. I'm going to change it. You know, I actually have a really, maybe some of you are like this, but I have a really hard time ordering at restaurants because I'm always afraid like I'm going to regret my choice. And so I will always make everybody else order before me because I want to hear that what they order and see if that's something that I thought, you know, I might rather have than what I was thinking of ordering. Oh, Sue says very thin foam. I'm sure it would create the little die cut areas, like the detail areas. I'm not sure. It may get, they might kind of like swell back together. I'm not sure. I will let Kathleen answer the question about the product. I'm not sure when that's going to be announced. Leanne says, don't you use the flower shaping tool? I don't. I just use my fingers. Okay, so foam adhesive in the middle here. And you can use a flower shaping tool where you put it on like foam and like do all that. I just use my fingers. Okay, so now we have these kind of layered up and ready to go. And I have some vellum versions here where we may end up using some of these. We'll see. I'm going to set a couple things out just so we have options, baby. We have options. Okay. So I have a couple of options here for, this is the blanket stitched oval. Let's come in just a little. You want to come closer? Come closer. Come closer to me. Okay. So I have this really pale pink that we could use. It's a little warmer, but it doesn't look bad because I brought some of that warm pink in. So we could do something like this. Or, this is not the final thing, so just lots of dimension. Yes, I love dimension. We could go with, this is drama, baby, drama. We could go with the dark green. So why don't you all think about the light pink or the dark green and let me know in the comments which way we should go. I think they both look beautiful. We brought in the dark green on some of the leafery. So we could definitely get away with the dark green. It's a definitely more intense look. Card is turning out gorgeous. Thank you. We could create like two situations here, but then there'd be just like less stuff. Nah, I don't like that. Dark green, both nice, but love the pink. Let's see. Contrast of the dark, I like the peach with the lilac and the light pink together. Dark green. Audrey, come back. Oh, pickleball, how fun. Yeah, come back and watch the replay. Dark green, lighter, colors pop on the green, colors pop on the green, dark green. Both are pretty. Dark green, dark green. Okay, I feel like I'm getting more dark green. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting a little more dark green. So we're going to go with dark green. Okay. We're going to do something here. I like to give you guys options, but I don't ever want you to be upset if I don't like go with your option. Okay. Oh, that is like perfect. That is a vellum and the ink blended one together. And I'm just going to pick these up because they fell so perfectly. I'm going to add a little bit of glue and we're just going to the side over here. Just like that. That was like perfect. I'm getting glue everywhere because I'm scooching, but don't worry. We're going to disguise that in the end. Okay. Now for these florals, green, 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 yay, green. There's no crying and crafting most days. Yeah, I know it's hard. I don't want everybody to be upset at me if I don't go the way they think they should go, but I do like to show you kind of these options because they definitely will give you a different look, right? I mean, it's like a whole different vibe. I'm just putting little bits of foam adhesive behind my florals. The addition of vellum is always just such a beautiful, like ethereal look. I love this guy right here, just like being his own boss. Okay. I'm going to take a vellum layer of this and slightly offset it. So I have that vellum floral. That's going to help it kind of come to life on the card. So I love him there. Okay. He's perfect. He's perfect. Okay, let's do the same thing with the vellum behind this pink floral. So let's just find this guy here. Where are you? Okay, we're gonna go kind of just slightly offset, not a ton. Options expand, help expand my uncreative mind. Well, I'm glad that I could give you some more inspiration. Love vellum. I love vellum too. Aren't all flowers girls? I don't know. He's a boss. I just don't know why he is a he, but he is a he. Okay. Now, I don't love these little twigs coming out, but don't worry. Don't you worry. We're going to make it so much better. If you're looking for links to all of these, Fresh Florals, yes, die and stencil, Fresh Florals, and all of this is linked in the YouTube description below as well. So thank you all for helping out with that too. My favorite vellum is the cardstock vellum from the stamp market. Hands down. Hands down. Okay, I'm gonna wait on this purple floral right here. And the reason is because I know that I still need to get a sentiment in here, which I'm thinking is going to be really beautiful, kind of tucked in here. Oh, you did not stick at all, you little, trying to escape. I don't know about that. You're in trouble, mister. Okay, now let's just tuck this little guy up in there to kind of help disguise our mess that we've made. I'm just going to add a little liquid glue. Sue's got to put dinner out. You know what? I'm going out to dinner tonight with some friends. Me and my husband are taking a couple out to dinner. And I am looking forward to it because here's something really funny about me. One of my favorite things to eat is meatloaf. I know that's so weird. And I love meatloaf, but my husband does not like meatloaf. So I do not make meatloaf, okay? So this is not something we eat at home, meatloaf, but I love meatloaf. And tonight, where I'm going, they have the most amazing meatloaf, and I am having that meatloaf, and I'm so excited about that, so. These reverse grip tweezers are super helpful when you're kind of arranging things like this and you want to tuck and try and all of that. I might just kind of actually put a little bit of liquid glue on the back side of this in a super messy way and add this little blended stem kind of coming out from the back and give it more layer and dimension. Amanda, I could make meatloaf and slice it up just for me, but we eat pretty well. It's just like that way when I go to restaurants, it's like a treat for me. It's actually one of the things I order when I go to Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory is one of my favorites also. Roberta only likes meatloaf made at home. I don't even know if I've ever made meatloaf, so it probably wouldn't be as good if I made it myself. You know how when you make it yourself, it's just not as good. All right, let's do a sentiment. Okay, I don't have this guy down yet, but he might go right here. Oh, that's so pretty. And then we're gonna go onto a card base, and I have something else planned, but let's just grab this, and we're gonna grab this Glad We're Friends greeting. This is from Grateful Greenery, and I'm gonna stamp this. I think I'm just gonna use black ink on white cardstock. If I hate it, we can change our mind, right? Yes, Tracy says adding the greenery to the back adds dimension. I agree. Lori, Carissa, does your husband not like the texture? I leave out the eggs and bread so it's more like a fat hamburger. I honestly don't know. He's just never liked it. And he is also allergic to milk. He has an anaphylactic reaction to milk products, all milk products. And so a lot of the breadcrumbs that you would buy at the store, they have like Romano cheese and stuff in them. So a lot of breadcrumbs it's hard to make things like that unless I were to, I guess, make my own breadcrumbs or something, but then I don't know. He doesn't like it, so we just don't go there. Let's see, where is my black ink pad? Okay, black. We're still zoomed in. Sorry, you guys. I'm used to creating further out. Let's go like this. Boom. Christian, where did you say you get your vellum and what's the weight? I don't know what the weight is, but I said the Stamp Market cardstock vellum is my favorite. Add the purple flower too. We might. Just saw the email from a card class. So happy you'll be teaching. Already looking forward to it. I'm glad you'll be joining me. If you have not already signed up, it's going to be a really fun class and something different. I've never taught a class. I've obviously shared masculine cards on my blog before, but I've never taught a whole class that is centered around masculine cards. And so that is something that will be really fun. I have not even seen the stamps, dies, etc. for this class, so I'm really excited about that. Dark green would be stunning. For the sentiment, is that what we're saying? Dark green for the sentiment? Dark green ink. Oh, we could try that. We have time. Okay, black. Okay, let's do that, and then we'll let's grab another little scrap of cardstock. I have like this thing where I keep cardstock that has been chopped into. This one's a panel, clearly. Let's try dark green ink. We could try that. I'm just gonna wipe this with my dry cloth. We'll get it mostly cleaned. Kathleen says she has seen them and she's pretty excited about them. There will be sneak peeks. They're just not ready yet because the teachers do not have the products yet to create the sneak peeks. So that's why there's no sneak peeks yet. Yeah, I agree, Lori. A masculine card event, it was a really great idea. And I know that it's something that a lot of people say that they struggle with. And so I think this is a great way to kind of demystify it and take all the mystery out of masculine cards. So this is Lush Forest ink. This is a nice dark green ink. Beautiful. I do like the green. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you for whoever mentioned that. We'll grab the coordinating die. And we'll go ahead and trim this out. Have a couple more steps and then we'll be done. We have to adhere everything still, but I'm also going to use that stitch chain and create some texture on our card as well. Okay, so just lining that up, running it through. I feel like it just slipped, so we may have to do this again, but we'll see. Nope, we're good. Oh, that's pretty. Thank you for whoever just hopped in there and said do the dark green. Okay, let's leave this out. Look at this. I have some layers. So pretty. We might do the purple flower. Okay. And then let's grab a panel of white cardstock. So I'm going to trim it down to, let's do 3 7/8. So that's 3, that is 1, 2, 3/8 smaller than, and then 5 1/8. 5 1/8. I know that's complicated. You could do 3 3/4 by 5 if you wanted. And then I'm going to take this stitch chain, and it does not have an outer cutting die, so you could use this on the card base, but I find that it makes the card bases like super flexible because of all the, you know, stitching lines it adds. So the dark green is Rainforest from Concord and 9th. I don't think I had said that before. It's a really nice match to the Lush Forest. Okay, so do you see that? Beautiful. And I love how it kind of mimics the oval of the stitched oval that we have here. Okay, we're going for it. All right, let's go ahead and we'll add our card, this card front with the texture. My tape runner is empty. We'll grab another one. I need to do that. Okay, assistant, trusty assistant, come and refill my tape runner. Oh, Cheryl's little granddaughter is watching with me, and the granddaughter asked me to send a message saying she loves the card. Well, hello to you. I'm so glad you're watching, and I hope that you get to play with some crafty things today. What is your name, Cheryl's granddaughter? Okay, so I'm just adding that on there with some tape runner. So now we have that texture. Then we're going to add this whole thing onto here with some foam adhesive. I have this big chunk that would probably work. Pretty background die for the card. I agree. It could be used in so many ways. I love me a good intense backdrop. You know, sometimes you just need some intensity. And I think that's exactly what the backdrop brought us today. I'm just trimming this down to make it work. Okay. We're going to add that there in the center. This would be a beautiful wedding card. Beautiful wedding card. I I could see using this like for a lot of different occasions. And that's the thing, that florals, you can just use them for just about anything. This would be a beautiful Mother's Day card. See if we get it. Yep, I think that's right. All right, let's go here and we're gonna just stack up a few of these layers real quick. I know we're coming to the end here. I do have some embellishments planned, and they are just the iridescent drops. Maybe, do I have the right? Dewdrops Iridescent. They're just so clear and pretty, and I think they'll pick up all those colors that we used in the flowers. So this is just 3 layers of white cardstock cut with that same sentiment die. I added liquid glue to the front, and then we can just kind of, I think we'll just tuck this in just like that. A little bit of foam adhesive on the back here, just like that. And we're going to tuck this guy just like this. Okay, I love how it breaks out of this oval. Okay, now everybody has been rooting for this additional purple floral, and I think we can add it. I think I may tuck it behind these kind of center stage florals that we have. So I'm just kind of lifting them with my finger, and maybe we just tuck it back there. How do we feel about that? I love that. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to fish it back out. I'm just gonna take the foam adhesive backer off of it there and just tuck it right in there. And then I think we'll add, let's add a little bit of Vellum Greenery up here, maybe a little less. Okay, yeah, I like that coming off the top. So we're gonna just tuck that there. We are almost done, everyone. 1 hour. We've done quite a bit in an hour. I mean, this card is no flower left behind. Goodness, this is such a gorgeous card design. Thank you so much. And then we may just tuck a little bit more greenery down here. I love that. Okay, so let's trim this guy. We're gonna kind of bring it in from underneath the sentiment there. Okay. Okay, Kathleen, I'm going to start working on embellishments. Do you want to give me some names for our 2 winners during the live? Don't forget, if you're catching this on the replay, we have prizes available for you too. We have 2 $50 Pink Fresh Studio gift cards that are up for grabs by leaving a comment. So if you're watching on replay, don't worry. You can jump in on the fun. Kelly says I'm the master at layering. Well, thank you. I just like keep adding until I feel like, okay, we're done. And I feel like we're done here. I do feel like we're done. So these are clear and they're iridescent. Look at how it just kind of picks up the light. That one's a little large for there, but we could tuck it here. Yeah, let's do that. I'm so glad you've all enjoyed this. I will be back again in a few weeks, creating live here on the Pink Fresh Studio channel. So I hope you'll join me. Kathleen will be here next week. And we have another release coming soon. So much happening. Don't forget about the embellishment sale, 25% off of the embellishments. I'm looking. Congratulations, winners. I missed them. Where are you at? Kaya. I love Kaya. Hi, Kaya. Thanks for joining us today. Sandy Evans, congratulations. And Cheryl S., you're going to email customer service at pinkfreshstudio.com to claim your prize. You've won a $50 Pink Fresh Studio gift card. So congratulations to you guys. I am so happy for you. You get to go shopping. I love that these are just bringing in a little shine element and picking up. Oh, if you could see these in real life, the way that they're kind of picking up the colors around them, these are absolutely beautiful. All right, so I'm winding down. I don't want to keep you longer than we need to, but I do want to give you an opportunity to ask any questions. So if you have a question, can you just throw it in the chat right now and just hit the type the word question in all caps before it so that I can check it out? No, it's not sneak peek time yet. Not yet, but soon, but soon. So congratulations to the winners. Yes, happy shopping. Just making sure we're good here. I want this little guy just does not want to turn over for me. He says no. Marta's loving this card. Well, thank you. It's always thrilling to me when I create something that you guys are loving, because I know then that you find inspiration in that. And that is really, I just want to break this down, make it manageable, and I want you to leave feeling inspired. So hopefully that's what you feel today. One more little embelly here. These are on sale too, 25% off. We're just kind of tucking into the arrangement. We're not creating any arrangement outside of there. So you can see these are just beautiful. I have a couple down here. I have one tucked in here and a few up here. So those are really a beautiful way to like bring in all those colors. And my glue is wet, so you're seeing the white of the glue behind the embellishment now, but when my glue dries clear, that will give it a completely different look. And of course, have my triangle tray here. So when I need to clean these up, I just dump them right back into the little bag where they came from, and then Carissa doesn't spill, because Carissa is a little accident prone. Remember, registration is open for Cards for Him. Thank you all for joining me. Roberta S. says, question, what is your favorite Pink Fresh Studio ink colors for green? Well, I love all the greens. I actually love to mix olive and evergreen. I love lush forest. I love sage and eucalyptus. And offhand, those are the ones that come to mind that I feel like I use all the time. And those are all from kind of different color families. Let's go to the side-by-side question. When will the ink pad bundle #1 be available? I am not sure about that, but maybe Kathleen can answer that. Yeah, so Kathleen, if you can answer that real quick, and then I think I'm going to let you all go. I hope you're having a happy Tuesday. I hope you're walking away inspired. And I just want to thank you all for joining me here today on the Pink Fresh Studio channel. If you have not already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so that you don't miss any of the card making inspiration that we share all the time. Again, I want to thank you for being here. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.